Hi everyone, Salim here along with Morgan at Excite Medical to give you a simple 10 steps on how to use the DRX9000 lumbar unit. Keep in mind to always check your owner's manual for all the nitty-gritties, and you can also go to youtube.com and type in DRX9000 training for a longer training session. All right, step one is simple. You're going to be entering in the patient information. So I would recommend that you start them off between 40 and 70 pounds and then go up 5 to 10 pounds a visit. Somebody like Morgan, I would start off around 50 pounds. Somebody like myself, I would start off about 60 pounds. It's not about the force. Keep in mind with the DRX9000, it's about pulling using that logarithmic curve and all the other factors that make the DRX9000 unique. And be sure to choose the lumbar selection level. You know, that's something also very special about the DRX is you can just simply choose L4, L5, and then you can treat from there. So for the next step, we're going to harness the patient, and I'm going to do it like Martha Stewart style. There's only a few main things to remember in the harnessing. One is that the top strap is on the ASIS. Simply ask the patient, point at your hip bone. That's the fastest way your staff can tell the patient where. So the first thing is just to remember where it's at the hip bone. And then we're making a V from the chin down. You don't have to make it too tight. We're going to tighten it up later when we get on. From the back, you just got to make sure that the pad is at the low back. Keep in mind we're pulling from basically the waist on down. The ring, make sure that the ring is at the center of the calf. So a lot of times you're going to find out that the back is going to be a little bit higher than the front. Now we're going to go to step 3, which is adjust the bed. First, we're going to tilt the bed up to get the patient on the machine. Okay, now we're going to have the patient step on, grab onto the handlebars, but not lean back. In this third step of adjusting the bed, basically we got to just adjust it to the patient. So how do you do it? Well, it's simply with a push of a button. Basically, we want their glutes, their butt to be at the top of the bottom mattress, okay? One good way of measuring that is just to make sure that this split here hits that bottom strap. So I'm going to tilt the bed up. And now I'm going to ask the patient to go ahead and lay back. And that's pretty good. So the only thing I have to do next is step number 4, and that's to recline the patient. The first things that I like to do when I recline the patient is put the knee pillow and the head pillow underneath the patient's head for comfort. And then I will move the bed up by pressing the button, and that slides their feet away from the foot plate. So right before I connect the straps, I'm going to tighten the harnesses. So I'm just going to come around, open this up, and I'm going to pull up on the belts. And basically you want this firm but not too tight. I'm going to make a V from the chin down, and then I'm going to connect the strap into the ratchet. So the key points here is to make sure that this is firm, and we're going to connect the harness to the upper body ratchet. For specifics on how to connect the upper or lower harnesses to the tower, go to our video for the full length training. So we're going to make sure that the bed is locked. Keep in mind you want the bed locked for the first 2 minutes, and we're going to raise the lumbar support. So I'm going to increase the bladder. Basically press a button, the air bladder is going to fill up underneath the patient's lordosis. How much do you go? Well, you go until the patient tells you they begin feeling it, and then you go another 5 to 10 seconds. Before you start the treatment, keep in mind to give the patient the safety switch. Here we go. And now we're ready to run the treatment. So I'm just going to press run. So after you run, you keep the machine running for the first 2 minutes without the bed being unlocked. So you're going to keep the bed locked. What the machine is doing is taking the slack out of the line. What I would do is after the first minute mark, you're just going to come in here and just push up a slab bit. I'm going to push up, and you'll see that the patient, one, gets better positioned, and two, the slack is taken completely out of the line. So while we're waiting for the 2.5 minute mark, I'm going to give the patient the noise canceling headset so that they can watch a relaxing video while they're being treated. And now that we've reached the 2.5 minute mark, I'm going to press and hold the unlock button. And basically, I'm going to hold it until I stop hearing the motor run. So the motor stopped running. That means that it's fully unlocked and the treatment can begin. And you can see the separation here at the table. To be able to adjust the Bose speaker that's built into the monitor, there is a Bose remote that's in the top drawer. As far as adjusting the media, you open up the middle drawer. There's a multimedia player with a remote. You can put whatever you want on an SD card or on a USB. Simple as that. Now the treatment's finished, we're going to disconnect the patient. Then we're going to slide the patient back down so that their feet can hit the floor, and then tilt the patient up. We're going to ask the patient to use the handlebars to help themselves off the table. Go ahead, step down. Once the patient's off the machine, we're just going to ask them to go for a short walk with the harnesses on, and then we're going to take off the harnesses. Prior to sending the patient home, we recommend 15 minutes of E-stem and ice, and we highly recommend our back brace, the DRX brace. Like the DRX9000, it's 100% made here in the US. It's actually made by US Orthotics. And it comes with a gel pack in it. We recommend that you give them the brace with a frozen gel pack every time, so they're being iced the entire way home. There's actually a total of 3 features to the brace. One is a rigid front, in addition to the ice pack that we talked about earlier. Second is a rigid back, and this provides optimum support so that the patient is being supported their entire way home. We recommend the brace to be worn for at least 4 hours after treatment, and also for the patient to wear it during any activity that they take on. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that subscribe button, and to like us on Facebook. Either go facebook.com/DRX9000, or for YouTube, youtube.com/@DRX9000. So thank you for taking the time and watching this part 2 of the DRX9000 training video. Keep in mind to look at your owner's manual as well as the other training video that is on YouTube. Stay with us for the DRX9000 cervical training portion.